Less than a year after its release, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has officially come to an end, bringing Rocksteady's struggle and the disappointment of Arkham fans to a close. In this video, I'll dive into 3 key parts. First, my thoughts on the final playable character added to the game, Deathstroke. Next, I'll talk more about that controversial ending we recently got. And finally, I'll share how I would have tried to make a more meaningful conclusion, one that could have wrapped things up on a more positive note. I've added timestamps in the description so you can jump straight to the part you're most interested in. Season 4 introduced the last and final playable character, Deathstroke, and I've got to give credit where it's due. They absolutely nailed his design. This fresh iteration of Slade Wilson feels menacing and powerful. The damaged suit adds some extra flair, and honestly, I love how it all comes together. It's fantastic from top to bottom. Now let's talk about his combat. Deathstroke melee is how you expect it based on the nature of this game. Pretty limited. He's got 3 moves, 1 midair and 2 on the ground, and while they're functional, they're nothing special. I expected more variety, but his takedowns are a different story. They look brutal and badass, with each one tailored to different enemy types. His special attack though, it's a mixed bag. Throwing knives in every direction is effective for area damage, it's fine, but not great. The biggest letdown for Deathstroke is easily his traversal. After doing some research, I found out it is inspired by the comics, but even with that context, it feels clunky and out of place. You grapple into thin air with the kunai grapple and use some kind of power from the icon suit to dash either on the ground or in midair. This just doesn't feel smooth or natural for someone like Deathstroke, even if it's comic accurate. The icon suit seems to be the source of all his powers, but the overall experience feels awkward. Compared to the first 2 characters I've played, his traversal is by far the least smooth. To be fair, I haven't tried the season 3 character, they could be even worse. But as it stands, Deathstroke movement just doesn't hit the mark. Overall, Deathstroke design and takedowns are great, but his melee and traversal are just mid. Alright, let's talk about that ending. As much as I would have loved to see a proper, fully fleshed out cutscene tying up loose ends instead of a 2D animated comic strip, I'm honestly just relieved it's over, because what in the actual Elseworlds was that? Here's a summary of what happened. Deathstroke saves the multiverse from Brainiac because of course the Justice League couldn't handle it. Turns out the Justice League we fought were just clones. Small relief, Batman's still alive, but Wonder Woman, dead. And not just kinda dead, actually gone. Tim Drake's Robin, likely killed by the clone Batman. They died for absolutely no reason, which makes it all the more frustrating. Now, the Justice League is out repairing the damage across the Elseworlds, and the Suicide Squad, they're just casually wandering through the multiverse, running away from Walder. And that's my biggest issue. They didn't close the chapter on this multiverse Elseworlds chaos. It's still tied to the Arkhamverse, and honestly, linking this game to the Arkham series in the first place was a huge misstep. On a positive note though, Rocksteady can finally put this chapter behind them and hopefully return to their roots, making amazing and great Batman games. Let's see what they've got next. Alright, let's dive into how I would have handled the ending of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. First off, if this was going to be the final note of the game, it deserved fully fleshed out cutscenes to wrap things up properly and not just a 2D comic strip. Again, my biggest issue with the actual ending is how it failed to bring any real closure to the Elseworlds storyline. And honestly, given how broken the story was from the start, my fix would involve completely rewriting it, which I'm not going to do, but here's my quick and simple fix. Make it so none of this ever happened. It was just all a dream. I know it introduces a minor plot hole, but considering the mess we're trying to salvage, it's a small price to pay to save the Arkhamverse. Picture this, after that 2D comic strip ends and the screen fades to black, we cut to Harley Quinn waking up in her Arkham cell in the middle of the night, screaming. Her cellmates, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang wake up annoyed. Harley starts rambling about her crazy dream as they all gather around the table in the common room with the other criminally insane. Deadshot, barely paying attention, asks, "What was the name of that purple guy again?" Harley shrugs, saying, "I don't remember." Boomerang Frank has had enough, slamming the table and shouting, "That's it, I can't take this crap anymore, I'm requesting a transfer. Harley, you are insane." Deadshot agrees to transfer, but King Shark, still amused, wants to stay by her side. As Harley laughs maniacally, she delivers the final line, "Me killing the bat, ha ha ha." And you hear her iconic laugh echoing as the screen fades to black. Now yes, the plot hole here is how she dreamed up Brainiac and some of the Justice League members she's never met, but if we frame it as her pulling elements from things she's seen on TV, like Amanda Waller, Lex Luthor, or even the Justice League, it kinda works. Plus this keeps Batman's death intact within the Arkhamverse, as he was never a part of the Justice League anyway. Does this ending of making this all a dream make perfect sense? Not entirely, but neither did the original game. The goal here is to preserve the Arkhamverse Foundation, which Rocksteady spent years building. Sure, WB lost plenty of money on this game, but at least their strongest franchise universe stays more than somewhat intact. And that's a wrap. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.